Everybody wants to be 100% better at a task, but what if you just started with 1% better every day? Ben.lalez is going to show you exactly why that's the way to go. Stay tuned. This episode of Keeping It Real is brought to you by Real Geeks. How many homes are you going to sell this year? Do you have the right tools? Is your website turning soft leads into interested buyers? Are you spending money on leads that aren't converting? Well, Real Geeks is your solution. Find out why agents across the country choose Real Geeks as their technology partner. Real Geeks was created by an agent for agents. They pride themselves on delivering a sales and marketing solution so that you can easily generate more business. Their agent websites are fast and built for lead conversion with a smooth search experience for your visitors. Real Geeks also includes an easy-to-use agent CRM. So once a lead signs up on your website, you can track their interest and have great follow-up conversations. Real Geeks is loaded with a ton of marketing tools to nurture your leads and increase brand awareness. Visit realgeeks.com/keepingitrealpod and find out why realtors come to Real Geeks to generate more business. Again, visit realgeeks.com/keepingitrealpod. And now, onto our show. Today's episode is brought to you by Corded.io. Are you looking for agents to join your brokerage or team? Now, as a real estate recruiter, I can tell you the answer is always yes. But most agents aren't looking to move right now. So how do you know who to contact? Well, what if I were to tell you there's a recruiting and retention tool powered by artificial intelligence that shows you exactly which agents in your local market are looking to leave their brokerage right now and which agents at your own firm are also looking to leave you? Now, I've been recruiting realtors for 15 years and I've hired over 2,000 agents. I can tell you with no exaggeration, this is the tool I've been waiting for. Corded's AI looks for trends across dozens of variables for each agent in your market and shows you which agents they believe are likely to move. Not only does it do that, but Corded's AI went and visited my recruiting website and read everything I offer. So now when I'm recruiting, Corded's AI tells me exactly what to say based on that agent's needs and what my brokerage can offer. It even writes emails for me. I've never seen anything like it, and I use it every single day. Now, if you are looking to grow your brokerage, Corded.io is the best tool out there. Visit Corded.io to schedule a demo. Again, that's Corded.io. And now, onto the show. Welcome to Keeping It Real, the largest podcast made by real estate agents and for real estate agents. My name is DJ Paris. I am your guide and host through the show. Today we are at Content Club here in Chicago filming in this amazing studio. We are here with Ben.lalez, who is the owner of Content Club. And this is a place, partner, where you as an agent or really all sorts of different industries, sort of influencers, people who need to produce content can come, can shoot. They can actually go out with you to shoot. They've got all the equipment, the editing capabilities, and they make it
lighting.
They have everything, and we're so fortunate to be able to film here. So thank you. This is Learn with a Lender. This is our monthly series.
It's not Learn with a Lender. This is Better Business with Ben.
Better Business with Ben. My apologies. This is why I need to rehearse. I've got Learn with a Lender on my mind because I'm doing that tomorrow. Sorry about that. This is Better Business with Ben, and Ben.lalez is one of the top agents in Chicago. He has a top producing team, the Ben.lalez Group, Ben.lalez team, and they are with Compass. And how big is your team these days?
We've actually had some fluctuations. We are at 22 agents plus a lot of staff.
So you are one of the
Number
biggest,
six.
number six in all of Chicagoland, which is a big deal. And so the first quarter is done. How'd your team do?
We closed in pending 72 million.
Great. That was a good quarter for you?
Yeah, we were hoping to do 55. 72 is bigger than 55. Yeah.
What do you think prompted the going over?
I think it's two things. Is the compounding effect of, getting our stuff in order in Q3, Q4 last year. And then, having really fantastic agents who have a year plus under their belt. Like, you also have all of their spillover and all of their hard work that they have done. And now it's finally transferring over to Q1.
You're a big believer in skill building.
Yo, for sure.
And you do that regularly with your agents, especially the newer ones. What are the skills that agents are struggling with to build these days?
It's everyone, including myself, including yourself, and it's consistency. Everyone has the ability to go really, really hard for 3-4 hours a week. Their mind is sharp, their body feels good, and they're able to really deliver for their clients, and they feel energized. The question is, how are you going to do that when you don't want to do it?
Right.
And for any agent who out there, it's it's the cliches are cliche for a reason. Is I try to get the agents on my team to just become 1% better at their craft every day.
Yeah.
Work 1% harder, work 1% longer, hone their craft. Let's say it's objection handling, get 1% better at that. If it's pricing, get 1% better at that. If it's, sitting in open house, get 1% better at that, and give yourself a little bit of grace. But over time, you have 365 opportunities. If you're able to actually diligently get better, you're going to look back and you're going to get there. And it's really, really hard.
There's a compounding effect too to 1%. It seems small, but it actually builds up pretty quickly. And I can conceptualize what 1% better looks like. 100% better seems like a massive chasm between where I am today and where I want to be.
Yeah. Let's make this podcast 1% better than it was last podcast, DJ.
I like it.
Yeah. And, asking yourself what that would look like. And as I was saying that, it's like, okay, let me bring 1% better energy to this. And hopefully, we get better. And in 15 more of these, it's going to be that much better of a product.
I agree. And one thing that I want to commend you for, and I've noticed this with your content, so specifically your social media content, video content, is you are really prone to experiment, try new, fun, engaging types of content that is very different from what I've seen any other agents in this area in this particular market doing. So you do a particularly fun one where you pick somebody off the street, you have a listing, you take them up, you basically do a
tour,
mm-hmm. and you have your videographer there, and then you have the person basically try to figure out how much the home is listed for.
Guess the price. And I think this is it's a good little segue, but how you get the confidence to go out and try something creative is I have so many reps.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the consistency that I'm talking about. But, when we were talking about what we should talk about today, after, unfortunately, 4,000 videos, I have 8,000 followers, which is 2 followers per video.
Right.
It's crazy.
But
stupid.
Is that enough?
It has been enough.
Yeah.
I wish it was different, but it has been enough. It's actually 28,000 followers across all social media platforms. I focus on Instagram.
That's significant.
Yeah, 28,000 is a lot. I actually looked at it.
Because you're not a nationwide brand. You are a hyper local Chicago brand.
So I wanted to share some of the stuff that I know works. And there's really, I'm going to talk about Instagram and TikTok and the 2 things that they have made very clear that they want, that I have tested. And if you go look at my social, I'm in 6,000 view jail. I used to be in 4,000 view jail, 400 view jail. I couldn't get past 400. Then I got to 1,000. And now I think I've cracked the 6,000 code.
It's huge.
It's huge. And sometimes it pops and it goes, you'll see 24,000. So I figured something out. And I'll share that.
Before we get to that, let's promote your Instagram, because I think agents could get a lot of inspiration. You do some really fun things. So give us your Instagram.
Yeah, so it's the ben.lalez team.
Same for TikTok?
On TikTok, we're actually Best Realtor Chicago.
Smart.
Oh, no, I take that back. We are Chicago Real Estate. I was really early on TikTok. Chicago Real Estate I managed to get.
Well, for my podcast on Instagram, we're Top Agent Interviews. But I want everybody to follow me, my personal, because I am trying something unique for myself, and I'm kind of following in your footsteps. So Delphin.Paris, Delfin is how you spell Delphin.Paris. And I also post this to Top Agent Interviews as well. But I'm doing short form video content where I play in a different space than you. I'm in the recruiting realtor space, although not your realtors. They wouldn't come to me anyway. You already have them pretty well locked into your systems, which is amazing, which I don't even try because that's how successful you are. But I want to reach those smaller agents that are not maybe as successful. And I do these 30-second videos, and I use AI to help me write the scripts, but they're based off of conversations I've had with people like you on this podcast. They're not just generic, hey, do this, do that. It's very specific things that top agents have told me they do, or it's an AI prompt that I say, hey, agents, you could use this AI prompt. It's 30 seconds, and I'm doing this daily. So the jail that I'm in right now, which was a 0 view jail because I wasn't doing any video.
Yep.
And I started finally getting intentional about it as a way to improve.
So where are you at now?
I'm at...
So like you post today, what do you expect
I haven't
on the view scale?
Yeah, I would say 300 to 500.
Yeah. Yeah, you're in jail too. And I'm
happy with that.
Yeah, that's great. It's better than 0.
Yep.
So let me share with you
Yeah.
and everyone else what I have figured out. And I actually have proof. So I figured this out. And then if you look at Mark Buckner is a good example. I shared this with him. Matt Ao, I shared this with, and a bunch of others. And you can see like when they pivoted with exactly what I'm about to share with everyone.
I'm excited.
So it's very, very simple. So both Instagram and TikTok, you know that the first 3 seconds are important.
It's the pattern interrupt.
Okay. How do you know if it worked or not?
Well, there's metrics you can look.
So what are the metrics?
Yeah, there's did they make it past the first 3 seconds?
Yeah, so do you know what percentage they're looking for?
I don't.
Yeah, so both of them are around, you need to keep 75%. You can lose 25%. You need 75% of people to stick around for second number 4. So they have to make it past second number 3. They're like, okay, this is worthy of feeding to more people.
We're going to push this out.
And this is the tricky part. You want to, by the end of the video, right, you want to have, the way I look at it is 75-75. You want 75% of the remaining people to watch 75% of the video.
Okay.
Right? And if you can get those 2 things, you nearly guarantee yourself, all I can tell you is what I've learned. You nearly guarantee yourself 5,000 views plus. Now, you can game it a little bit, of course, right? Because the longer the video, the more challenging it is to stay super, super exciting.
Well, it depends on the distribution method, right? Instagram and TikTok are short form.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'm talking about exclusively short form right now.
Okay.
So if you have a shorter piece and it's super interesting, more people are going to watch it till the end. If you have a longer piece, call it 2-3 minutes, the likelihood of someone watching, 75, that's something like you need 60% of people to watch it all the way to the end for it to have real reach. It's very, very challenging. So let's use those guess the price videos as examples.
Because those are several minutes.
So I think they're very interesting and
they're fun.
Yeah, and there's a lot of getting to know the person that I can't put in there. But we tested, 3-4 minutes because it's engaging. I picked up this, stranger off the street. Oftentimes they're freaked out, but we have to cut all that stuff out now. So we're trying to get it to 1.5 minutes, to do like a hello, a tour, and then the actual guessing, 1.5 minutes is quick.
Tough. That's tough.
And if you look, we haven't had one go under, I think it's like 7,500 views in the last, 5 attempts.
That's great.
It's fine, right? I am trying to get to the next level. And here's something that is really hard I think it's going to be hard for you to hear and hard for everyone else to hear is if your content, I would say if it isn't getting over 1,500 views per, and you're really trying, your content's not good enough.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it sucks to hear.
Yeah.
But it's a fact because, another cliche is people want to blame the algorithm. The algorithm is the audience.
Right.
So it's like, it's just people, TikTok and Instagram have decided that if someone is going to make it past second 3 and they're going to watch 75% of it, it's worth watching.
Sure.
Disagree with me.
Right.
Disagree with them. You can't. They're the experts on it. So, if you can unlock something really, really interesting on the front end and then it's harder, honestly, to maintain interest to the end. The results will occur. And both TikTok and Instagram, it used to be like this mystical thing. How do I get reach? How do I get reach? They finally delivered a little bit more clarity, in my opinion. And I mean, it's not opinion. I've tested it now, and it's a gift. Do it. Like, you have to hook them. And, the hook that I'm leaning into is like, what? It's curiosity. Like, what is this person going up to a stranger with like a bunch of money? That's my hook. And then I'm trying to lean into the, real estate porn and like a little bit of like voyeurism to keep people engaged. And then you have a little game show element. It's worked fine, but again, I want to go bigger.
So what do you do in those first 3 seconds to get the person to stick around?
So I think, conventional wisdom says you need to really tap into a key emotion. So it's either curiosity, fear,
Anger,
joy, something like that, right? And if you can stoke that, okay, then they're probably going to stick around. And you can do that a bunch of different ways. You can do that with words, you could do that with visuals, etc. Something unconventional or, eye-catching or shocking. All right, cool, you solved the 3-second problem. The bigger problem, though, is having content that is engaging enough that is going to, maintain, right? And there are ways to do that for you. You are delivering educational content, essentially, tips, tricks, that kind of thing, right? And you don't want to give it away right away, right?
But I only have 30 seconds.
Yeah, but you want to save it for the last 10 seconds so that there's a payoff and you get people to watch.
That's a good idea.
It's not, listen, everything that you have learned and everything that I've learned, it's stolen from somebody and we mix it up.
So how would you recommend I improve these videos? So what would be my educational hook at the beginning?
So give me your last video that you did yesterday. What went out?
It was about, I can't even remember anymore. I do so many these days, but let's just say it's an AI tip for a particular prompt to solve a problem.
So what I would do, first of all, like if you look back, I was doing a lot of educational, infotainment type stuff, right? What I would lean into if I were you is, here are the 3, you make it a list, the 3 prompts that I use every day, right? You won't believe. And
Interesting.
And what you'll see people do all the time is like, the last one, like I use the most, right? And then you go 1, 2, and then they have to stick around for 3 because that's the big payoff.
Right.
It's not, and again, I'm often very, I'll use the word like shy to talk about this kind of stuff because I am not an influencer, right? I have amassed this following over, it's way too long. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lesson in consistency where, I guarantee this is going to happen. Somebody is going to slide into my DMs and be like, why the fuck are you talking about social media? You have X number of followers.
Which you didn't used to.
Right. And it took a long time to get those.
6 or 7 years, right?
Yeah. So someone's going to get in there and be like, your stuff sucks. Or it's going to happen with your people. It happens. I've spoken on stage about social media. And, I'll go back to what I always tell people. It's not about trying to get this stranger. I'll give you a perfect example. I was at one of my close friends' sons' birthday parties. Okay. My friend's brother-in-law, who I haven't seen in 10 years, comes up to me and says, I love your Guess the Price series. He has absolutely, and I actually told him, I'm like, I'm gonna share this story. I don't know when. I guess this is the opportunity. He has absolutely no business knowing what I do for a living.
Right.
Why does he know what I do for a living?
He shouldn't even see your videos.
No.
They shouldn't serve it up to him.
So it's getting served to him. Okay, he didn't reach out to buy a property, but he knows what I do for a living. How is that not a gigantic win?
Huge win.
Right? And that's really what I'm looking for, is you walk into any room and people know.
Hey, I watch your videos.
It's not even that. It's like they know that I'm a real estate agent. Right? So F all of you who are getting in the DMs and saying my stuff isn't, let's say, good enough or I don't have enough followers. That's, and if that's where the dust settles for my social media career, cool. I'm gonna keep on putting logs on the fire, and that's going to be my consistency, and that's as far as I go. And so be it. It's good enough. That's my thought process behind it.
I like it. Now, do you venture into long form content, YouTube?
Yeah, so you can, yes.
Very different strategy.
And it's interesting, and I wish I took my own advice. Okay, so 4,000 videos. Let's call it, 4,000 short form, long form videos. How many, I ask this question all the time. I'll ask you, DJ, how many human beings have actually transacted on a property with me or someone on my team after seeing a video that I didn't already know, that where there is, 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, like I can't, it is clearly only from a video.
They saw a video with you with some educational content, something about, hey, I can help you, or this is a piece of information you need about buying or selling, and then took the next step, which is to contact you or your team.
And typically it's they see a video, maybe they look at the website, they click around, blah, 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 and then eventually they reach out.
Burn.
Yeah, and then eventually they reach out. But it is very clear to me that the catalyst was video.
And do you make sure you know?
Yes. Every single person who ever calls.
How did you find us?
How did you find us? It's the first thing. I want to know what works.
So what is your question?
How many of those people existed? How many have actually closed in my, I started doing video seriously in 2019. So,
well, I have a number I can share with you for somebody that comes on my show monthly like you who is doing it on YouTube. But I would say by now, I would think you're getting 10 to 20 people a month.
How many have actually closed?
Oh, closed a transaction?
In my career, yeah.
Oh, 50.
20.
Okay.
So
that's pretty good though.
So, but it's 7 years. And
thousands of videos.
Yeah. And my point is people think, I think the assumption is that
you blow up.
Yeah. And they just roll in.
Yeah, money just comes in.
They start writing checks. And
wouldn't that be nice?
So 20 times is fine. Okay. I'm fine with it. But what happens way more often is the example I kind of already gave is like my mom needs something. Like this just happened. My basketball coach, Coach Meyer, I hope he's watching. Like he is a fan and he consumes my newsletter and watches the video. His friend is retiring and needs to downsize. Like that that I believe is because of marketing.
Yes.
Okay. That happens and I can't count how many times that's occurred.
Sure. Yeah, that's yeah, right. That's all part of the overall brand.
Yeah. So, how many real estate agents can you name in the country who have like really, really popped?
Very few.
I couldn't do it by name. I could do some by site. Obviously, the ones in Chicago.
Ryan Serhant is probably the only one.
Yeah. And like
maybe a few others.
Yeah, maybe a few others.
Yeah.
Right. So I think all of us, myself included, have this dream of, turning this corner and becoming either a, local true influencer or a countrywide influencer. I don't think that should be the goal.
No.
Right. The goal is you walk into a family function and everyone's like, hey, DJ,
been watching your stuff.
Yeah, I saw your stuff. Good for you. Right. They shouldn't know that you're a recruiter for a real estate company. They shouldn't.
No.
Wow. Who, you don't know. I don't know what my cousin actually does for a living. I mean, I probably do, but I don't know the ins and outs of it. And I certainly don't see their face every single day to remind me of it.
Yeah. I on my videos, I don't talk about joining our company at all. I just try to give good content. But to your point, yes, I need to improve my content. And
it's not to my point. The algorithm is telling you, the data is telling you it's not good enough. It's not me.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And it's hard. It's a tough pill. It really is. But you're still early in you're new.
I'm learning.
Listen, you have a podcast with how many?
Tens of thousands.
Yeah. Okay. So.
And by the way, that is also a moving metric because if we're only as good as our last episode.
Yeah, exactly. So there are people who would kill for, it's like, okay, yeah, people would probably kill for 28,000 followers across all platforms. I would kill for this. I'm going to kill you. No, I would kill for this. This is unbelievable. So imagine if you had both, right?
Yeah.
It would be outrageous.
So I want to talk a little bit more about long form, because this is the
Hold on,
most.
that's where I was going though.
Go ahead.
Of those 20, at least 50% of them
From long form.
from YouTube,
Yeah.
right? And why I don't over-index there, I still couldn't tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's where you need to be, because the problem is that people use TikTok, Instagram as not a search engine, as just a way to pass time. So they're not actively searching for what they want. They're just getting entertained, right? Facebook as well. So YouTube is an actual search engine. That's usually how most people use it. And we know that content that is evergreen, that is good, gets rewarded and sticks around, and that's where people are searching for, hey, I'm moving into this area. Where are the parks? Where are the hospitals? Where's the grocery stores? Who's the best dentist? And agents really are ignoring YouTube.
Yeah, and this is Gary V for you, DJ.
Good.
You know, why should you over-index on YouTube? It's owned by Google. It feeds the SEO monster. So if you're doing something right on YouTube or YouTube Shorts, like it'll strengthen your traditional Google presence when someone is searching for whatever, because maybe your YouTube, if you type in, what are the best schools in Lincoln Park, right? They may grab your video and serve it, right? And it feeds the SEO engine. And the same thing is true of YouTube Shorts, right? Because I don't know if you've seen, YouTube pushes their shorts almost just as hard as their long form, because they kind of have to compete with Instagram, TikTok, etc.
Yep.
Everyone is going that way. So yeah, if I was starting, I think it would be a really interesting exercise to go all in on YouTube Shorts first.
Yeah, I would do both. I would do short form content, 30 seconds, and I would do 10-minute content, which is what you do as well, which is, hey, let me talk about this neighborhood. Let's talk about whatever real estate, or let's talk about this community, and what are the problems, or what are the questions that people have that are wanting to move or live in this community have?
So shout out to Content Club. What I do is, because they have a prompter, is I do my research. I develop a lot of scripts at the beginning of each year. So here are the 10 best neighborhoods or 5 best neighborhoods to move to in Chicago in 2025, 2026, whatever. I knock it all out, upload it, and you're done. And those have done really well. Why, again, do I not over-index them? And I think it's just because it's not as fun or sexy or hip or whatever, right?
It's fun to do the short form stuff.
Yeah, the short form stuff I feel like can go viral, and everyone is seeking that. I've never had a long form is like this really, really slow burn, right? And you know that,
I have a person who is a partner on our podcast, just like you, comes on every month. Her name's Sarah Maslowski. I really want to give her a shout out. Check out her YouTube channel. It's called Moving to Georgia. It used to be Moving to Atlanta. And she's not an influencer. She's not, she doesn't look a particular way. She's just a normal human being who said, I'm going to answer. And by the way, she didn't come up with this. She borrowed it from somebody else doing it in a different state. She said, I'm just going to answer the questions that people have about moving to Atlanta. This is where she started. And last year, I believe she's a Coldwell Banker agent or Compass. I'm not sure. Anyway.
It's the same thing now.
Yeah, that's true. We're all the same thing now. Yeah, anywhere. So she got 50 sales, all from YouTube, all reach outs, all people she didn't know outside of her sphere. But she's been making videos for 4 or 5 years. And she does have an editor, so she pays a little bit for that. And her videos are like 10 minutes. So they're not short form. And they're good. Are they
knock your socks off good?
No. Well, the content is. The quality or the production is not.
Entertainment value?
Yeah, totally not.
Yep.
Because people don't care. People just want good content.
Well, and they also want it when they want it.
Yes.
Right? Nobody's going to be searching for, no one's going to be searching for that on a whim because they're curious. No.
And it lives forever.
Yeah, evergreen content.
It lives forever. And that's what I think everybody listening, we all want to hit quickly, but those fires burn real bright on Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah, you know what gives me solace on giving this information is nobody's going to do it. Maybe, let's use Chicago, right? How many agents would you say are really giving this their all consistently?
In the Chicago market, I'm not that tapped in. I would say you're doing it. Matt Laracy is doing it. Maybe that's it.
No, so
Are there others?
Yeah, I don't know. I can certainly drop more names.
Daniel Dowell's doing it.
Yeah, so like Danielle, Emily, Carrie.
Yeah, Emily. Yeah. Oh, Carrie for sure. Of course,
Carrie, Matt, Greg is trying. Stoikov is trying. And then you have I forget her name. I think it's Daisy something. Dean, Chicago Living. You have a lot of people. I have a lot of agents on my team. Obviously, I get overserved their content, but I would argue that have made, I forget his name. There's an awesome guy out in, I think it's Arlington Heights. Brandon Blankenship does it.
Yeah, he's great.
So and it's unbelievable that he has stayed so top of mind with me that I just said his name out
loud.
And
I know him.
Yeah. So my point is, I would argue that there's 40 people who are worth even mentioning, and it would take some time.
I'll give you a really fun Carrie story. Carrie's, of course, comes on our show every month. Carrie, my brother-in-law, who lives in Tampa, Florida, has no connection to Illinois at all. He grew up in New York. He sends me one of her videos. He DMs me one of her videos. He's like, "Hey, look at this listing." I'm like, "Oh, that's one of my best friends in the business." Yeah. And I sent it to Carrie, and she just thought that was the funniest thing.
I get poked fun of, so
probably happens to you too.
I'm in this school setting, and I kind of get poked fun at in a very innocuous way about my social, and they're like, "You're no Emily Sachs Wong there, Ben." I'm like, why do you know her name? They never used her, but they know her so well. I'm like, oh, and yeah, she's queen. I think she and Carrie are probably co-queen bees right now in the social media realm in Chicago. Matt has unlocked something.
Matt Laracy.
Yeah, Jeff Lowe has, I'm going to give an excuse when I shouldn't. It's Carrie and Emily have access to the coolest possible properties because they're titans, and that's the type of property that they get.
Yep. They're in the luxury space.
Yeah. So,
and Matt is not. Well, Matt is, but Matt is the brand.
Matt is the brand.
And anyone listening needs to check out Matt Laracy, his social, because he is very authentic. He is unabashed. He is unapologetic. He is
Matt.
And a controversial figure for sure, but he has opinions. He has a point of view, and he's able to articulate it on camera. And it's fun to watch, whether you like him or not. It's really interesting. And you also are that way. You're more subdued.
Yes. No, in comparison, for sure.
You're more approachable. You are more comfortable. Matt's more in your face. Let me shock you a little bit. And everyone's got their thing.
Yeah, and being yourself. This is what I tell the agents, my agents, all the time. You sound how you sound. You look how you look. Yeah. You're not going to change that.
Lean into it.
People, you're going to talk to people on the phone. They know what you sound like. You're going to meet them in person. They know what you look like. What are we actually, afraid of? And that's another thing. But, I hope that after watching, there's I don't know how, you have viewers all over the country.
Yeah.
I hope, 40 in Chicago after watching this turns into 45. I hope in Atlanta it goes from 30 to 35 people who are really trying to take this a little bit more seriously, so that when they go to the 4th of July barbecue, their aunt's daughter comes up to them. I guess that's their cousin. It's like, "Hey, I really love that listing. My friend is actually in the market, and I told him about you." That's really what you're going for.
Ultimately, it's all about value, right? So the content is the acid test. It is going to tell you over time how accurate you are in solving problems for your clients. So if all you're doing is solving problems for clients that are legitimate things that that they don't, and posting that out, I think you're on the right track.
Yeah, and can you package it in a way that will actually get distributed, which goes back to we'll put a little bow on this, goes back to, the first 3 seconds and getting people to watch all the way through. That's all you really need to focus on, because you could have the best information in the entire world, but if no one is watching it, you don't feed the beast, then it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, for me, it's funny. I'm going to ask you this last final question. So I'm talking to realtors. Do I need to say attention realtors at the beginning of my video?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because if you're giving like a Claude prompt or a ChatGPT prompt, I believe that you want the widest possible audience if you can, and it'll get to the people that need it,
Right.
right? And then I wouldn't go that narrow, because the people who are, looking to join Kale, joinkale.com. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
I know that because
Thank
of
you.
your social. It's narrow. What 50 to 100 people are your target market.
Yeah.
It's too narrow. You may, you want to be able to have a mom see it and give it to their son or daughter who's actually in the market. Yeah, because then it's way too narrow.
Okay. Well, good point. So I now have my marching orders. Well, Ben, this has been a fantastic conversation. Let's give everyone a takeaway that they can go implement today. What should they be doing?
I think they need to, I think they need to stop what they're doing. If they haven't put out a piece of content, put it out. What we're talking about is best practices.
Yeah.
Right. I would much rather have DJ Paris or anybody else get their 300 views than get 0 and start developing that habit of consistency. Because the journey to 10,000 podcast listeners or 28,000 followers across social starts with that first video.
You really do have to post almost every day. If you want to play in the Instagram, TikTok space, and Facebook, you really do. You need to have short form content, video content, and it has to be good. It doesn't have to look good. It has to be good.
Yeah. And the platforms are telling you what is good. You don't have to guess anymore.
Yeah, that is true. And you need to hook people within the first 3 seconds.
Yeah.
These are very challenging ladders to climb.
Yeah. I mean, if you go look, DJ, you will go look. I have 15 guess the prices out, and you'll see them change, and you'll see the views go up. Right? It's just like anything else. Like, you have to take the feedback and modify.
Yep.
And it someone gave me the harsh lesson of, and I had to look in the mirror and be like, my shit sucks.
Yeah.
It just sucks. That's why no one's watching it. Why else? If it was awesome, people would be watching it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to also understand that you have that level of taste, but your actual competence isn't quite there yet, right?
Yeah.
So for everyone listening right now, that if you know what good taste is for a particular type of art, whether it's video or maybe you're staging a home or whatever, but you haven't done enough reps yet, you are going to feel that burn. It's going to be frustrating. But that is the push through. If you can just continue to do it, eventually your experience will rise up to the level of your taste, and you will be able to be able to put out the content or whatever that you absolutely have in your mind. But it takes years and years.
Okay, maybe this is the parting words, and then we have to sign off. Every time something feels really hard for me or I really don't want to do it, I get really excited.
You're on the right path.
Because I know that if I feel like that, I have a really, really high tolerance for like feeling like I have no shame. Like, so if something makes me feel uncomfortable, I know there are thousands of people who feel uncomfortable. So if I go do it, I leave another batch of people in my wake, right? And that gets me excited. So if you do something that is really unpleasant for you or really uncomfortable for you or scary for you, you leapfrog. This is not hyperbole. Like, you leapfrog hundreds, maybe thousands of people who feel that way,
100%.
and you leave them behind you. And then you go do the next thing. You leapfrog another 1,000 people. And that's, the mindset lesson of all of this.
I agree. And, but it all comes down to reps too. You got to just do the hard things that suck, that are not fun, that are the digging ditches, doing the push-ups. Those are the things that ultimately build the foundation. And I'm in the process right now. I'm doing it myself. I'm trying to follow my own advice. I just heard from you great feedback about my content. I'm going to change my content now and try to see if I can captivate my audience more effectively.
Yeah, you will. Sign us off. We keep on. We could go forever, DJ.
Well, thank you for everyone for listening. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to Content Club for hosting us. This is a wonderful space. If you have any video needs, whether they're a stage that you, well, tell us more about Content Club. You're a better pitch man than me. You're an owner.
Part owner. So Content Club can do short form, long form, or off-site video. So if you need to do, for example, if you're a dental studio, which we've done, that needs to do like a sizzle reel for your website. If you want to do short form content, long form content, obviously podcast. But there's really nothing that they can't do and there's also, this is the setting that we have. If you look over there, they have another background. Yep. Look over there, you have another background. They have standing backdrops, etc. They've worked
with Netflix, various TV productions.
Yeah, we've had ESPN in here. Yeah. Like when they're traveling, they need a space to do podcast, and you have to do video, in my opinion. Yep. So might as well get both. For you get the audio and you get the video.
So Content Club is the place to go. Where can they find that online?
ContentClubChicago.com.
Awesome. It's on Milwaukee in Bucktown.
Yes, sir.
And really, we are so honored to be here. Thank you to them. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to our listeners, too. As always, the best way you can help us support the show is by telling a friend. Think of another agent that really needs to hear this conversation that Ben and I have just had, and shoot them over a link. And we will see everybody on the next episode. Before you sign off, Ben, what is your Instagram and
so go to the ben.lalez team on Instagram or Real Estate Chicago. Oh man, I should know. Chicago Real Estate. Jeremy, what are we? Chicago Real Estate, I think, on TikTok.
We will have a link to it in the description.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. DJ. See you next time.